maybe just another support pickup here. I mean, you kind of pointed out the Spirit Brothers in the mid lane. Looks like it might be a Doom mid lane here, John. OB.Neon, throw the Mars off, go mid Doom. I think that's not too bad of a decision. Obviously, Terrorblade, well, really no hero in Dota likes being doomed, but Terrorblade in particular does not enjoy it very much. Very easy to pick off once you do get that Doom out, especially if it is prior to the meta being popped. Doom, still a very popular pick. One of those mid heroes that even if you fall behind, you can still just kind of keep up because you do have that inbuilt Devour and you can go down the Midas route. If you really want to just snowball out of control in terms of net worth. You do have a face on though, Jonathan. I feel like you don't like something here. What is it?
No, it's nothing to do with the Doom. I just saw, I'm not touching my mouse. I saw the mouse wiggle. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to disconnect it later on because I'm not going to be able to inspect it. It's on me. It's not you. I think you're controlling your mouse just fine, I believe.
I'm paranoid now.
We'll see.
We'll see. Very paranoid now, John.
Well, we'll see if it does happen, Still, OB.Neon, after the Doom, they pick the Winter Wyvern. So they've got their hard 5, line on the 4. Great way of dealing with Terrorblade as well. You've got the Winter's Curse to kind of amp that damage back to the opposing team. Get those illusions hitting someone else as well. There's no great save for that from NGX. Again, Snowball's there, but you can't really Snowball save someone out of Winter's Curse. So really good control coming out from Neon to handle this Terrorblade from In Your Dream. NGX into the Quap, surprising me. I really expected something like the Void Spirit for Alacrity, but the Queen of Pain is also one of his special heroes. So the matchup against Doom is pretty good. You have really great wave clear. You've got a ton of mobility to just blink out if the Doom does commit onto you in the laning phase. Once you've got blink level 2, it's pretty hard to harass out a Quap, and we have seen, I think it was Alacrity who went for like a 0-2-3 or 0-3-2 build emphasizing blink into his level 5. So it's just a stable farming lane for the Quap, and the Doom's not going to be completely harassed out. At the same time, he's not going to really do too much work onto that Queen of Pain as well.
Okay, that's fair. We'll see how much they can get done on this Queen of Pain. I mean, generally speaking, if you are going to choose this hero, you do really just want to dominate the lane. Though keep in mind, John, Mizu can flex it in the offlane again. One of his very popular heroes back in, I'd say, maybe not last year, but the previous meta, very earlier on this year. He was playing quite a bit of offlane Quap, and it was very, very impactful at the time. Mind you, he has tweeted before, and I believe it was maybe a month ago, that he thinks Quap is one of the worst heroes in the game right now. So he doesn't seem to like the hero very much. Not at the moment, but you never know. It is still very flexible here for NGX. Is OB.Neon, final pickup now for them. They are still lacking a position 1 for Palos. Anything in particular that comes to mind, John?
For Palos, I mean, he's got options, I believe. No Morphling on hand. He could try to go for something that matches up against the Terrorblade. You don't have the option for Dusa for that 1-to-1 core scaling where you kind of want to outfarm the Terrorblade. It can be 50-50. You don't have an item advantage, you kind of lag behind. Luna's still an option, but you pick Luna into Terrorblade. I don't think it's too bad nowadays. Like, the reflection is annoying, but once you have Manta Style up, that's not going to be an issue. It does keep up the farm. Instead, you go with Alina. So I think this is a Palos pause 1 Doom. And they're going to go with Alina mid for Mamang Daya. That seems to be where it leans. I think Palos has done that before as well. So pause 1 Doom, mid Lina. Your Lina's your actual win condition. Your Doom will farm up. But the brunt of the game will be on Mamang Daya's back. Laning for the Lina against Quap is a little bit better. You've got better range on the Lina. You can wave clear a lot more stably. And you can go into the side camp relatively early as the Doom would. But you have a little bit more harassment for the Queen of Pain compared to Doom. For a Doom, it's much more static. Lina does have a little bit more to play with in the laning phase. And I think that's going to help Mamang Daya's cause here.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, it's a very interesting kind of draft from OB.Neon. I don't know how much faith I have in a pos 1 Doom. It's been a very long time since we've seen it. We'll see how it pans out. I mean, I understand the net worth is going to grow significantly for this Doom, but going into Terrorblade as a pos 1, it seems pretty tough, and now there's a Monkey King on the field, so assumedly, where is this MK going? Is it a support, John? I guess we'll wait and see as they do pick up their heroes, and no, Mizu's taking it in the off lane. So you've got Monkey King versus Doom now in the safe lane, because Palos has indeed taken the Doom for himself. That's a pretty rough matchup for him. I mean, you've got UK there on the Wyvern. Can be kind of nice, but every time your Arctic burns on cooldown, you don't really have so much you can do against the MK. It could be a very tough laning stage here for Palos, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of harassment coming through. Monkey King against melee heroes just enjoys the matchup. Sure, Scorched Earth might be annoying, but you've got this great combination with the Monkey King now, right? You've got the Tusk on the pause 4 here for JoeCam. So you can run up, tag team, get some hits. The damage output of Monkey King skyrockets. And if he does get his stacks built up, you're not going to have a good time. So I think level 1 to maybe level 3 is a bit tough for Palos. Past that point, once you have, say, level 2 Splinter Blast, feels a little bit easier for the Winter Wyvern to harass out. These 2 melee heroes are going to be sticking close to Creep Wave. You can always land your spell. You will be shoving in the wave. I don't think the Doom is going to mind that too much, as he will just get steady farm anyway. But I think for the early levels, it's going to be a bit rougher for Neon. With a draft on hand, though, I think draft-wise, it's a bit easier to pull off for NGX. They've got that In Your Dream special in the Terrorblade. Their win condition's a lot more stable. For OB.Neon, like having this pause 1 Doom means that your mid-game might be a bit shaky. You're scaling towards late is only on 1 hero, and that's a lot of pressure to put onto Mamang Daya.
It certainly is, John. We'll head into it, though. Game number 1 between OB.Neon and NGX. And I suppose you made a very good point just then. Even if the pos 1 Doom doesn't really take off, you can always rely on the mid lane. It's just kind of be that right-click and core that you need. So it might almost be one of those like mid-morphlings almost with this laner. It's the real pos 1, just nobody knows it yet. Though I'm sure NGX have a very good idea of what the plans here are, as they do get a nice deep observer ward down straight off the bat. Palos going to put his own one down, and neither one was spotted, as both heroes were smoked. Though Paulson does look like he wants to go have a look around, but Palos is going to be there to guard, and in the meantime, there's a bit of a wraparound with a secondary smoke now. OB.Neon on the high ground of that dire triangle. JoeCam, he might run up, but no, he does sit back. Hence kind of scenario here, NGX. You definitely don't want to give first blood away if you can avoid it. And they seem to know something is a little bit wrong here. They have not made their way over. When I say that, they are heading now. Paulson might get skewered by Enryu, and looks like he will be, as they do get the Earth Spike out. Light Strike ready to follow, and that'll be first blood straight off the bat for OB.Neon. The patience does pay off.
Nice kill to feed out. Even though it is Norman who picks it up, Lion does want some early levels, some fast boots coming through to really maintain his presence. And there's not going to be too much of a scuffle over the bounty runes. It still looks to be a 2-for-2 trade, with In Your Dream wrapping around to grab the second bounty here from the Radiant side. So they don't lose too much gold for NGX, but you certainly don't want to give that kind of lead away to OB.Neon early on. That's a move Neon loves to pull off. For the past year now, I'd say, right? Like, they'd group up, they'd go into the enemy side, go into the enemy triangle, force first blood, run from there. NGX was very cautious in their approach. They're very fortunate not many were caught in that impale, otherwise that could have gone a bit worse. Still, see the lanes break out here from my UK, and Enryu will be playing bot here to match up against the Monkey King of Mizu and JoeCam on the Tusk. So they're avoiding that pause 1 Doom having to face off against the Monkey King. Enryu still has a bit of a rough time as a melee hero. He does have better wave clear overall, which means he should still be able to get some farm. I don't expect Mizu to lose out in too much DS here, but you are relieving your Doom of that rough lane, and Enryu's just going to cop the short end of the stick here. Still, Enryu's holding out for his own quite well, and I think his early levels are a little bit better in this case compared to the Doom.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no question that the Mars is going to be better off than the Doom here. I mean, surprisingly, NGX haven't bothered to try and switch the lanes back up and maybe rotate Mizu top, but I suppose you just don't want to waste your time running across the map, as we used to see a lot last year. Especially later on last year, that was just kind of the meta. You just keep running up and down until you got the lane you wanted. Of course, switching over to the mid lane, you've got Alacrity and Mamang Daya against each other. For now, both doing just fine in terms of CS. No real surprises. Though I would say there is some pretty high kill potential here between these two heroes. Just a matter of who gets the jump first. In fact, hold that thought, because top lane Palos, he's in trouble. And In Your Dream, able to be able to pick up the first kill. As Palos does end up dropping, and well, don't forget, that is your pos 1 going down, as even bot lane, Enryu now is in danger. Mizu lands a very nice boundless strike and does secure another kill here for NGX.
Yeah, It was a slower start with giving first blood, but the lanes are still coming out stronger. Like, we talked about the Mars, it's still a melee hero against the Monkey King, even though its kit is a little bit better, it's still vulnerable to getting the Jinky built up, the burst damage coming through from Mizu is just going to be overwhelming. The Mars in top lane, of course. That's the one thing with Doom, its laning presence isn't great. There's a lot of minus armor with just Paulson having a little Shredder and a Blightstone. So Doom goes straight to 0 armor, Metamorphosis pops up, and you can't really out-heal it. You can't really run away from it with the level 1 Scorched Earth. You just get heavily punished. So I think that's something Neon's going to have to watch out for. Because of their draft, because of the heroes they've picked on these side lanes, it will be a bit slower going, and there's not much of the supports can really do to relieve that.
Yeah, going back to the mid lane though for a second, John, Alacrity is getting very low in HP. He actually hasn't gone for 1 point in Blink yet. Perhaps at this level 4 mark he might opt to go for it, because Mamang Dai has been very aggressive. You land one Light Strike array, Alacrity's going to lose most of his HP without that Blink, but now he does have it up. So at the very least it should not be quite as easy for Mamang Dai to just destroy this lane. It does feel like they are still keeping up quite closely here between these two. And in the meantime, bot lane once again, Jokam and Mizu able to secure the Mars kill.
Yeah, it's that early level spike. Just having the Tusk, just having the physical damage does a ton in killing off the Mars early on. It's not like you go for early points in Bulwark to mitigate that damage. And UK did have to go for the Cold Embrace to cut off that physical output. So he's not really able to harass out completely with a Splinter Blast. The damage isn't overwhelming yet. It's still very playable for NGX. So they're riding through this laning phase quite nicely in bot. They're riding through it on mid quite well, going back to that point. Alacrity is prioritizing the Shadow Strike on Queen of Pain. We've seen this a couple of times where you go like a 3-1-1 build or a 2-1-2. It does mean you lose out on a lot of laning presence and wave clear here.
Narman shows up there, Alacrity blinking out at that right moment. He's had that Hex or Earth Spike landed, Alacrity would have been in big trouble. Of course, he does manage to at least get the bottom water rune, so we'll have that secured by Jokam. No problems here for the Quap. So it looks like Mamang Dai. He'll just return back into the lane. No real reason to leave this laning phase, especially considering how easy it's been for him. Of course, in the meantime, speaking of easy lanes, John, in your dream, 28 and 13 on this Terrorblade. That's a problem, as now they're going to make the jump in onto Narman. He's going to try and make a run, but they should have enough damage, and they will. In your dream, taking his second kill of the game. And 28 and 13. That's a massive issue here for OB.Neon.
Yeah, we've seen this happen when you let In Your Dream have a great laning phase. His jungle farm becomes a lot faster in the intermediate period where he's just building up, and he's going to hit his item spikes faster. He's going for power treads into SNY, so it's a Terrorblade that's ready to join in fights early, and Palos, when his support is gone, he's not very safe here.
I think he might be dead. Cookie's going to land. In Your Dream now just needs to keep getting in with the right clicks, but the Earth Spike is going to buy some time still. Paulison going in for a little bit more. Narman, well, he does have the salve up, so Palos, he'll be able to remain within the laning stage, but well, as you just saw, they can't really get too much done. In fact, they're going to try now with a kill out onto In Your Dream, but can they get it done? Palos, he'll keep chasing forward. In Your Dream, he's going to turn, and now the rotations will come in. Reflection out, Jokam. He's got no shards up, so he won't be able to block him off that way, but he just needs to get... Oh, in fact, never mind. He had a skill point. He had saved a skill point the whole time, and Palos is going to drop.
The early aggression from NGX, the willingness of Jokam to just leave his lane with the levels up, it just allows much more movement from NGX, although they will catch Jokam out. But
will they get him though? I don't think they will, John. Mamang Dai now in trouble. Oh? Snowball's going to be there. Alacrity, he's got no mana for the Sonic Wave yet, but he won't need it. Mamang Dai is going to drop. They'll get Jokam in the end, but what does that matter? You got the mid laner.
Yeah, you get the favorable trade for NGX. Alacrity is just building up at a great pace. The lane's been rather even with Alacrity and Mamang Dai. I think you'd expect a slight advantage for the Lina, but as we were seeing from Mamang Dai early, but just isn't building into an overwhelming lead as you'd like, and that does mean there's a lot here for them to keep playing with. Palos does chase Paulson out from the stacks. Might be able to go for the kill? No.
I love what Paulison's doing though, Johnny. He just keeps hanging around Palos and making sure he can't comfortably farm, and that was his Scorched Earth that he needed to clear that stack up. He's got to wait another 15 seconds for that now.
Yeah, it's just stalling out this Midas timing from Doom, and that's the one thing with Doom. when you're running it, especially in pause 1, it's still a relatively slow hero. Sure, you've got early presence with your level 6. It's a long cooldown. You kind of want a lot of items to enable good Doom usage. They are making moves onto Mizu bot, but it's not enough to really zone him out, and Jokam just cuts them off well. Like, the aggression from Neon right now isn't lining up, and it just kind of boils down to the supports. The Lion's probably your most aggressive support, and Armin's just forced to babysit the Doom for the most part. He is getting some moves out now, but can't really set up easily with just how much more NGX has on the map.
Well, they might go in. Enryu, he's going to try, but Mizu's going to be able to survive. In fact, now Jokam wants to try and turn with the shards out and the tag team. They'll Primal Spring in. Mizu, have you gone too far? The Cold Embrace is out. It'll save the life of Enryu, and, well, they missed the Boundless. That Cold Embrace was still going. But Enryu is forced to run as now Jokam, he'll have enough for the snowball. And there should be another kill the way of NGX eventually. So they are waiting out the Primal Spring to be off cooldown. And with that, they'll make the jump in. Mizu, he'll be able to take a nice kill for himself. That'll be the second of the game for the Monkey King. And it's now a 2-7 the way of NGX.
Just a great laning start from NGX. I mean, if you think about NGX's lineup, they've got pretty greedy heroes. Offlane Monkey King needs items. Terrorblade's just getting spaced in the jungle. OB.Neon, though, they're starting to get some moves out. Smoke out onto In Your Dream here.
Gonna get it done, though. In Your Dream, he may drop and should. With the Laguna out, In Your Dream is gonna go down. But bot lane, they made another jump in onto UK. Mind you, it's definitely a much more positive style of trade here for OB.Neon. They are going to get something, but can they get themselves out now as Alacrity? He's trapped up in the arena. UK's not dead yet. Snowball's out, Boundless Strike. That'll take care of the Wyvern as they do get the blink off on that Quap, and Jokam is going to be able to run. In fact, Polison's moving in now. They want to keep going for a bit more, it seems. In the meantime, Mizu, just trapped in the backside, is being hunted by Palos. Palos won't keep going in. However, bot lane, oh, they've got Enryu again. Mortimer's Kiss is expended. That'll be another kill onto the Mars. In fact, they even found the Lion, but they won't be able to fully commit. Naman, he'll be able to get himself out. I suppose, again, considering you got the Terrorblade, it is still a worthwhile trade here for OB.Neon, but well, In Your Dream, he's still sitting at the top of the net worth pool.
Yeah, he's still having a great time. He just farms a lot faster than the Doom. The Doom farms more consistently, but it only really starts to overwhelm you once the Midas is up. And Palos is still waiting for a 1,000 gold until that's up. I love the trigger discipline from NGX here, Mike. They have Alacrity come in. He hasn't popped Sonic Wave. He hasn't used that in any of these ganks, so that massive AoE damage spell is still available for NGX on their next rotation. And they're starting to take more control on the map. OB.Neon, they're not able to clump up around top, take the tier 1 to trade evenly. That just means NGX has more map to play with down with the bot jungle.
Jokam, he's right in. Cold Embrace is going to save UK at least for now, but the Sonic Wave's out. Alacrity. No games here. In fact, Mizu now. Great Boundless Strike out onto two heroes in the Shard. Gonna catch Naman, but they've got Mizu trapped up. Nice turnaround here for OB.Neon. In fact, they're gonna find more. There is a spear on Polison, and that should be another kill onto the Snapfire. And it seems like NGX, they've gotten too comfortable here in this mid lane. OB.Neon, they do punish.
It's a great fight for OB.Neon. They managed to kind of defend from a tier 1 push onto their mid as well. The issue is that there's still a lot of space coming out here from In Your Dream. So they're playing as 4 here on NGX, just forcing commitment onto where they show up on the map, buying their Terrorblade a lot more room to farm. You are kind of achieving the same thing with your Doom here with Palos, but I think for Doom, again, it's a build-up into Midas, then it's another long wait for the blink. It is accelerated by that Midas, but at that point, you kind of want to get the good jumps in. They will smoke up. Palos, he has Doom ready now. Narman has the finger. They don't really have forward wards, though. They don't have wards in the triangle. They will maybe just walk around and check for In Your Dream, but without the vision, it's just tough to really fully commit there.
Oh, they've got the high ground advantage here, John. They're going to be able to break the smoke and maybe turn around as the meta's already up. They get the Earth Spike, though. Cookie's off the mark. Palos, he's in. Fingers there. They'll have enough, but now the Mortimer's Kiss is to try and turn this. They'll go after Naman. So your Doom is fine, Palos. We'll be able to secure a nice kill there on In Your Dream, and well, that'll definitely be good enough here for OB.Neon.
Yeah, that's what they needed. I'm surprised In Your Dream just kept playing up there. Maybe not having low ground vision from that cliff area. He was very close to the stairway, though. The trees were blocking it. So just rather unfortunate they had no info. And OB.Neon getting success, although UK now.
He's been caught out. just the Winter Wyvern. In fact, he'll try for the curse, but of course Mizu keeping his distance, understanding he would always try for the Winter's Curse at the end of his life. A nice little support pickup here for NGX, but you've got to consider, in the meantime, Mamang Daya is starting to transition into a bit more of a right-click heavy core here on this Lina. So he is working towards that BKB next, and we did talk about it at the start of this game 1, that Mamang Daya was essentially the real position 1 right now for OB.Neon. He is top of the net worth board, overtaking In Your Dream, so that's definitely a great sign here for the Radiant.
Yeah, starting to build up, has the travels up, can show up to these fights if he wants to. And once the spell immunity's up, there's nothing from NGX to really hold him down. Maybe the Walrus Punch could be annoying. It's not going to be very detrimental for Alina. Tusk has a hard time gap closing without the blink and without being able to use the snowball onto a spell immunity 0. Still, NGX grouping up mid. They really want that tower to clear out the bot jungle completely for In Your Dream. They are chipping away slowly but surely, but not fully committing now. OB.Neon not showing on the map. The only hero showing is Enryu up top, so they know everyone else is somewhere nearby, and they don't want to get caught with their pants down here. So a much more reserved play from NGX. Neon using the time well, trying to catch up on Enryu. He is trying to rush the blink. So once you've got that blink arena ready to go, I think Neon's going to be a much better spot to play around with her team fight potential.
Mid lane again, they'll start that tier 1 mid tower push. Shards out, he's going to catch the Lion, but not good enough for them to make the jump in. Still, In Your Dream shows up with the meta, and that should be enough to finish off the tier 1, and it does. OB.Neon still not 100% confident in trying to force a fight without the BKBs up on their cores, especially without the blink up on Enryu. They just don't have the proper initiation to start a fight. So they'll happily let the mid-tier 1 go, and I say happily, but it's not a great sign as NGX immediately take over the whole of that Radiant jungle now. It's a very concerning sign as OB.Neon, they are going to be trapped up in their own triangle. They haven't even gotten the top tier 1 tower of the Dire yet.
They've just not been able to push out. It's been a long time since that bot tier 1 fell. They didn't manage to group up and force the issue top. And now they're kind of lacking space to play farm again. UK is trying to get some info out. They drop a nice ward in that top jungle area to protect. But it's still a bit starved for both the Lina and the Doom. They're both playing in the same jungle area, not getting as much as they'd like. And Inner Dream is just building up fast. SNY is almost done. The stat resist unterribly. The additional HP is going to make it harder to burst him down. And then the Scotty's going to be flying through right afterwards. So you have to kind of take care of that Terrorblade while you can. They did kill him twice already, once in that gank on the triangle, but I think if you're OB.Neon, you kind of want to do that again. They've got the forward vision here on the triangle, but they're not in position to walk out, and that's just more space for NGX to build up.
Yeah, they certainly haven't got enough towers to really get too aggressive as... Well, Palos is being watched right now. Mizu has got the vision. They've got the Snapfire Kisses up as well, so if they can lock him down long enough, you should have the damage. Thing is, Palos, he seems to be reading the movement as they've got more coming in now. Still, Mortimer's Kisses are going to come out onto Palos, but the curse is going to hold him down, and that'll be enough to allow Palos to leave. And in the meantime, Mamang Daya does manage to pick off Alacrity. So you found the mid-quap, and you also saved that Pos 1 Doom. That's definitely great news for OB.Neon.
Very good news for the side of Neon. Starting to build up on Mamang Daya. His BKB is not too far off now, just lacking the recipe. And once that's up and running, Lina can just be a front line force. Still without the curse available, UK's in trouble with.
Yeah. I mean, he'll call it Embrace, that'll buy him a little bit of time, but ultimately he knows he's dead. In fact, maybe not yet. They need one more hit, but they can't get it. Snowball's going to fly in. He will try to pick pole, but it will not work out, but they get Mizu anyway. It's a great trade for OB.Neon. Oh, that's a real shame. One more hit would have done it. They just didn't have enough. Still, they might try again for another fight here. NGX still feeling confident. Alacrity, he'll go in. Big Sonic wave out. Palos, he's going to drop to the cookie, and they'll even find Naaman. So NGX, I mean, they lost that Monkey King, but who cares? You found the Pos 1 Doom, and you found that support Lion. That'll be good enough.
Yeah, it's a great trade for NGX at the end. You find the big Pos 1 Doom who's still trying to build up, has the Midas up, but still trying to rush that BKB. The timings of OB.Neon feel like it's held back by that spell immunity. They find a couple of pickoffs, but when In Your Dream comes in, they don't have to wait to manage that terribly. They need a way to jump in on TB, get the Doom off, and get their damage off with the Laguna and Finger. But they are managing to kind of stagger the fights here from NGX, kind of stagger when In Your Dream does show up. So they're playing it quite nicely on NGX. They don't have a massive lead. They are up in the kill board 8-15. The net worth is still kind of tied up, and I think that means for Neon, they just have to be a bit more patient. BKB for Mamangdaya is flying out. He's got spell immunity on hand, and he should be able to line up for more pickoffs. They've also got the blink on Enryu. So I think for NGX's part, they've got to be a bit more cautious when they show in lane now, with all the jump capability that Neon suddenly has.
It's all the BKBs as well. Mamangdaya, he picks one up now. Well, that should mean he's more comfortable to just join these fights and go for those 5v5s. See, when they do try to do that, though, as Mamangdaya, he might want a bit of a damage item to really start to escalate in terms of that right-click damage. And well, luckily for him, he did find a Grove Bow, which is certainly going to help with the range, but he still feels like he needs something to actually get some damage out. See what he does opt for is he's queued up nothing yet. Meantime, In Your Dream, ready to pick up that second ultimate orb now, so ever so close to that Eye of Skadi. And that should be around the timing that he gets involved himself with his team. Everyone else is just kind of waiting for both cores to be ready to go. OB.Neon positioning themselves up at that top lane. Mizu, he's going to scout out Enryu. GX, they keep moving forward. They're not concerned. In fact, they jump in. Walrus Puncher's there. They've got the Wukongs out. The Sonic Wave, everything being thrown, but Enryu's not dying yet. And he's not trapped in the shards either. He is still alive. He'll turn right back around, and JoeCam's the one who drops. Curse out. They have caught Alacrity with that curse, but do they have enough to hold him down? Not quite. They mistimed that curse, and well, the Light Strike Array never came out from Mamangdaya.
Yeah, it's still pretty good for OB.Neon. You know, they managed to get the kill. They were the ones being jumped. They turned it around, pulled up. I think that was a string of unfortunate events for NGX. The Sonic Wave from Alacrity did push Enryu out of the shards. And that meant that he wasn't really stuck in the position where Mizu's Wukongs was doing good damage. They couldn't get the hits off with the Tusk, and they were punished. So just a bit keen on the jump in from NGX, getting punished for that. OB.Neon managing to turn that around. It's still good space for NGX, though. All things considered, your Lina had to show up there. Your Terrorblade still farming jungle, so he's still getting that edge off, but it's not a massive edge. Mamangdaya, only about 600 gold behind, still holding on to what he wants to kill.
Oh, nice arena. Yeah, they got Mizu. Very nice arena there from Enryu, just kind of guessing that Mizu would be around. Another nice kill here for OB.Neon, and for Enryu, it's been a very tough game ever since that laning stage, but he's certainly slowly climbed his way back up. In the meantime, bot lane, Palos gonna get jumped, but he has help coming in, Mum, and he's there with the Earth Spike, and Palos, he's gonna turn with the Doom out on In Your Dream. They should have the damage, and they will. They burst him down. Palos, he is not dead yet. He will just run with the Shadow Amulet, but Alacrity will at least finish the job. But the curse is there. They'll hold him down. Do they have the stun this time? You bet your ass they do. With the Earth Spike as well, they'll have the damage output. Alacrity's gonna go down to Paulison. He's not making it out either. Could be an ultra kill here from Mamangdaya. They need one more hit on Paulison. The Arctic Burn will connect, but that's not quite enough yet. Dragon Slave. Oh, it's just barely short on range. And Narman, I mean, he had his blink up in 3, but it's proven to just be too much time. Still a great team fight once again here from OB.Neon.
Yeah, they've got so much burst to handle that Terrorblade right now. He does have the stats from Scotty, but when you commit Doom, Finger, and Laguna, Terrorblade's not going to survive. And you need a JoeCam around, I think, for the save. We talked about that snowball being key in turning these fights around. JoeCam does have the blink up. He kind of needs to stick to the Terrorblade or within range. Once he sees something committed, jump in, break off the fight, try to get In Your Dream out to safety, and then re-engage from there, maybe after Doom fades. Good use of that burst coming in from Neon, NGX. They've got a couple of issues here, Mike. When a Cold Embrace comes out, they do not have the magic damage to deal with it. Their only real magic dealer is the Queen of Pain. and they just simply can't burst through on their supports on their 2 other cores when that save comes from the Winter Wyvern. So I think that's something NGX has to be really aware about. Like, their physical lineup's just counteracted by this one hero, and the only counter they have is, again, just Alacrity, and sometimes he's just not in the fight in time to kill off that low hero with a Cold Embrace.
Yeah. Speaking of Alacrity, he might get jumped. Smoke breaks, Hex is there. Immediate Hex out from Naaman. There's your arena down with the spear out. Alacrity will eventually drop. OB.Neon punishing NGX again for the passive play. I suppose they still have a lot of faith in your dream, and even Mizu and the Monkey King to just be able to outscale the cause of OB.Neon. Though I can't say it's that easy. I mean, Palos has definitely caught up very nicely on this Doom. And again, more concerningly, Mamang Daya, he's farming like a beast right now on this Lina, working towards that silver edge. We've seen what happens once you have that up on this Lina. The damage output just gets quite insane. With 3k net worth ahead here for OB.Neon, you start to get a little bit concerned about NGX, but top lane, they're going to try and make a jump in. They found Palos, but a great curse out. UK, he's caught 3 heroes again, and now Palos, he can pop his BKB and turn right back around onto NGX. Who do they find? They'll try to get Mizu. They've already got Polison. That'll be a Monkey King gone to boot, and in fact, they might even find a third. Jokam's on the run, but Naaman is on the chase. He is quite far now, and with the bullwhip, we'll be able to run away. But you've got the better targets anyway in the Monkey King and the Snapfire. OB.Neon, they just continue to win these trades.
It comes back to that Winter Wyvern. Like, you don't lose out in the hero being jumped because Cold Embrace is there. And when a Monkey, when a Snapfire, and when a Tusk come in, that's all physical damage, unless you commit the kisses as well. I think the key thing now, if you're going to do a jump like that, again, you can't rely on Little Shredder minus armor. You have to sit back, get the kisses out on that target you will follow up with a punch with, and that's how you handle it. But so far, I think NGX has been jumping in a lot closer than they'd like. I think they need the kisses to come through from Paulson to clean up when the Cold Embrace is up. We're also seeing Mizu go for the Gleipnir. That's going to give them more AoE hold, but with the BKBs coming out from Neon, it doesn't feel like it's going to be massively effective. Still the smoke up here.
Yeah, they need to try something. Henry does get a nice arena down. Mizu going to be forced out of the tree. Nice blink away as well, dodging the Shadow Strike. Alacrity still trying, but OB.Neon now, they have had time to respond and bring more members up as Naaman. He's going to jump with the Hex up. Alacrity's there, but no Palos. What a great stun out. He caught the Quap straight off the bat. Snowball's going to save at least for now. As Enryu, he'll BKB up and try. In Your Dreams joined in, but there's your curse out. Hold him down as they go right for the rest. Laguna out as well. In Your Dream, he just can't move right now. He'll drop to boot. What a great turn here for OB.Neon. As Mizu's still trying to get himself out. He'll turn around back on the Mars, but the Cold Embrace again from UK will just not allow them to get any form of a kill. There's another stun out. Naaman, he's holding down Mizu. Do they have the damage though? Mizu is still protected within Wukong's command. As Mamang Daya, he gets Jokam, and now Mizu's a sitting duck. They'll get another. 4 down for the price of 1. How could you be upset about that?
You absolutely can't be. It's a great discount. It's a bargain for OB.Neon as NGX. They lose In Your Dream again. He's for NGX, the issue really is that Cold Embrace. Like, Andrew saved time and time and again by the support plays coming through from Neon, NGX, Paulton, and Andrew TPing out side by side. Opposing team, still the tier 2 top faults, and NGX has to find a way to protect that TV. In Your Dream is going for the BKB now, Mike. That's going to protect him from the Hex, protect him from all sorts of control, but there's still the Winter's Curse, there's still the Doom. So you still have 2 really good spells to kind of waste In Your Dream spell immunity, just have him standing there, be very vulnerable, and NGX's save is still just Snowball. And we saw Jokam a while ago try to save Alacrity, sitting out some of that Doom timer. It's not enough. And I think as the game scales on, you're going to see that issue time and time again. If NGX cannot jump the Winter Wyvern or the Doom first and get the kills fast, it's not going to line up. And I think they've got to deal with the Winter Wyvern first. The Wyvern has to go. You can't deal with Cold Embrace outside of Alacrity, and even then, his damage scaling isn't particularly amazing with how tanky OB.Neon's heroes are. They get so much percent-based healing from that Cold Embrace that the magic burst from Alacrity is not even enough at some point overwhelmed at. So you have to kill UK first, but his positioning's just great. He hides in the tree line. He has the Glimmer Cape to reposition himself. He's going to have a blink up soon. And he's just going to be a major factor for Neon going forward. Like, he is the guy that sets up and allows them to counter-initiate.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's done a fantastic job this game, UK. And I mean, I already thought the pick was quite nice during the draft, but well, you're really starting to see how effective it's been this game, number one. Keep in mind, pretty much every single lane for OB.Neon lost, apart from mid lane. And it's not like Mamang Daya started rotating around and started finding pickoffs and turning the lanes around. So the fact that they've managed to come back like this is no easy feat. It's all off the back of UK on that Winter Wyvern. With that blink coming out now, I mean, it just makes matters 100% worse for NGX, as they just can't catch him anymore. UK can stand a mile back and always be able to blink in and get that Curse and Cold Embrace off. And I think the idea is that you're kind of relying on Mizu to be able to catch him out and take him down. But it's just not been easy here for Mizu. Of course, there is always the threat of that Mars Arena. In fact, they may have seen him. OB.Neon. They'll just set for the Roshan now. Wards down. No vision over this area from NGX, so it belongs to OB.Neon now as they'll take the outpost. With their draft, it'll be a slow Roshan if they get it started, but they might feel confident enough to try. They've got the BKBs, they've got the Silver Edge on Mamang Daya. Because Enryu will tank for the team, and I said it was going to be a slow Roshan, but never mind. With this Lina, it's not too bad of a pace.
No, they've got the Silver Edge, they've got the crit. They were scanned out by the side of NGX, but NGX is just not in position to force the fight. They know such a tight spot leads to really good curses, good AoE control, great Reginas coming through. Just give it away. 3 ages for OB.Neon, and that's going to be a problem. Mamang Daya with 2 lives. He's only died once, and that was from the laning phase. Past that point, he's just been able to do what he wants, and for NGX, they need a lot more to come in, but they're lagging behind in net worth. Map control is still good, but they've got to watch themselves when they force these pushes out.
TP's in, Mizu. He did see the TP from Mamang Daya, so he's given that information over to his team to back out of there. As now they're going to find Mizu, but he'll BKB, or rather Enryu gets found out, but he will get the BKB TP away. So both teams will avoid a big team fight here. Keep in mind, even as the Roshan did go down and OB.Neon do have the Aegis, the net worth is slowly going back the way of NGX. I suppose that is the Terrorblade effect, just being able to farm up just so consistently, but we'll see if OB.Neon, they try to force something now with this Aegis. You'd imagine they want another tier 2 tower at the very least out of this. Arguably more so a tier 3 and a Rax if you can.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But now Mamang Daya, he'll just push by himself. And your Dream's going to be there to respond with a reflection, but that's going to be about it.
Yeah, it's not
Mid lane.
quite
Nice spike onto 2. JoeCam, he was trying to save with the snowball. I suppose in the end he did kind of save. Zalakrity does still get out, but JoeCam does end up going down. In fact, make that another, because Mizu is going to get caught out by Palos. No Doom necessary to get that kill either. Just the Doom hitting away. That was more than enough.
Yeah, damage output now on the side of Neon's just overwhelming. Inside of
Dire's
NGX,
middle tower is under attack.
they're durable under certain conditions, but not all the time. And they have to watch themselves as they catch Paulson again.
Yeah, nice spear out. Enryu just catching another for the team. Paulson doesn't really have a way out of this. He will just be forced to go down as Enryu picks up his 7th kill of the game. And I made this remark earlier, John, but considering how bad of a lane he had, it's quite remarkable that Enryu's been able to come back like this, especially just off the back of a blink dagger. But that's what it was. There's now Palos heading down bot. JoeCam should have seen that. Palos still moving in. They'll go into UK first. They want that Wyvern, but he is going to die. Sonic Wave was there in time, and now Palos, he may have gone too far. It was a 2v3 situation, but he will be able to try and at least run his way out. Oh, and Alacrity. Oh, I think they thought he was going to survive, but he did not. There's Palos. He's still alive. Still happy to turn here with Mamang Daya around now. NGX, they will posture rather aggressively, but nothing's going to come out of this as Palos should be able to get his way out. And is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think
Dire's
Alacrity,
middle tower is under
he was
attack.
running away thinking he'd live on the last tick. Could have walked up for the deny still. NGX, well,
Yeah, Snowball's there, and Ryu going to be forced to BKB up as In Your Dream will get to work now with that Iron Skadi. Arena is going to hold him in. And Ryu, he'll just go for a quick TP away, and there's going to be nobody to cancel. So a nice TP,
Is under attack.
already knowing that nobody was within range for a cookie or another stun out. And GX, I mean, still not really finding the better end of these trades yet, but they are certainly still buying time for In Your Dream. And you saw in that last little engagement, he is starting to hit rather hard.
he is. Like, the damage is coming up. He's going for the Daedalus next. OB.Neon, though, will smoke up. Use this opportunity to look for a pick-off. Metamorphosis not going to last long in Your Dream. That's going to be a risky spot for NGX.
Paulison, Cookie away onto the high ground, just trying to get some D wards out, but that's going to cost him his own life. Narman will take the kill on the Lion. There'll be no kind of response here from NGX, as it does seem like OB.Neon, they will at least try perhaps for a mid-tier 2. In fact, never mind that. They want more kills. So Mamangdaya back down to the bot lane. He's going to spot out Mizu. JoeCam is still around, but the Light Strike Array is right on target. They are going to try and snowball and save and buy time. Spear is there, but Mizu's still running. But he is going to go down to the Dragon Slave. Mamangdaya is right on target, and now they will find JoeCam as a secondary. A double kill for Mamangdaya. I'd hate to say it again, John, but no response from NGX.
Is under attack.
Yeah, they can't respond. That's the key thing. NGX, they're forced to either go for a single target pickoff or just kind of ride out these deaths because they don't have the best control. I mean, the Wukong's is great. The shards can kind of play into that. We've seen Mizu try time and time again to get the Wukongs, to get the Gleipnir off. And there's just not enough follow-through. They need In Your Dream to actually show up for that. And speaking of, they see Palos, but he's fairly tanky in the Doom now. He's got the Shivas up. He knows he's not in danger. And they're TPing in now, Neon.
Yeah, onto Paulison they go. And Infernal Blade doing so much damage, but they found the big target. They have got In Your Dream, and when you've got the Lion around, it's just going to be way too much to disable. Just no way up for the TB. In Your Dream, he just never had a chance to get the BKB off, and OB.Neon now 15k net worth ahead. Again, still yet to go high ground, but they are certainly hunting rather aggressively as Alacrity now is going to get stunned up. Narman does get the Earth Spike, but the blink away is there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So
attack.
Enryu having a look around, does have the blink up, has the arena, but misses the spear. Nice try, but Alacrity, he's going to be able to TP away just fine.
Yeah, dodges out there. NGX are still starting to lag severely behind. You're going to have to deal with a couple of things coming through. I believe Enryu is going to have his refresh up and couriers up, so you're going to have double arena as Mamangdaya still finds a nice pick-off once more. It's that global presence of Lina with the travel stuff. Just in any lane you can get that done still.
Yeah, Enryu, Cold Embrace and the Winter's Curse again, going to buy so much time. He got the BKB and arena down, fingers there, and JoeCam's going to drop as Enryu just runs his way out. He is perfectly fine. As Narman is still trying to go in and back Mamangdaya. He'll wrap around on the Lina. They'll find another kill. They go into that mid-tier 2 tower now. OB.Neon just looking so damn good. 20k net worth ahead. All outer towers down for NGX. Only high ground is left here for OB.Neon. But they probably will have to wait out that next Roshan first.
And they can choose to play it safe. The hold of NGX on the high ground's pretty good. Kisses are there, or Wukong's is still there. Shards can make it a bit of a nightmare to pierce into the high ground. You might get caught out, and of course the AoE damage is still there from Alacrity as well. I think the issue for NGX though is there is a severe lack of damage. All the heroes up front from OB.Neon are very tanky. Doom is tanky, Mars is tanky, Lilina not so much, but she comes in later. So you need to find a way to deal with that tankiness. You need to find a way to still deal with UK, because the Winter Wyvern still counteracts everything, even at this point. From start to finish, this Winter Wyvern's just ruining NGX's plan. They've got to find a way to jump UK first and force the bigger fight afterwards. I think that would really rely on damage on Alacrity. Like, he's gone for the Lincoln's first. He's queuing up Shivas into Dagon. I think it has to be Dagon first. It just has to come out, Dagon the back line, and try to clean up the team fight afterwards.
Armin going in by himself for now, but Enryu is there with the arena. Snowball to get himself out. Jocam, he's fine for now, but the cold embrace and now the refresh. Enryu, he's got in your dream trapped up in a secondary arena with the spear out. They've trapped him down. Doom's there, light strike array. They've blown him up again. Just such a tough game for the TB as they will finally get something, but it's going to cost them a hell of a lot more.
Enryu.
Enryu's just on fire. Paulison, he's trying to run out, but there's no running. Basically another team wipe. It's only Mizu to survive. And I think now OB.Neon, even without the Aegis, should be able to go high ground just fine. And they'll get started. Mamang Daya, he'll go by himself to the top tier 3 tower.
He's got the damage to do it by himself. I have to say, this is such a tough game for In Your Dream. He's had a BKB for how long now, Mike? And it's still on a 9-second charge. It hasn't been popped once. All the control coming out from Neon catches his Terrorblade out, just never getting off the BKB use. And he's just not able to survive. Sure, you worry about using BKB and getting Doom or getting Winter's Curse, but you have to at least avoid the Hex and the Earth Spike here if you want to get some hits off in these engagements. And Neon, they're going to be able to focus on 2 racks. Top gone, mid getting to work here. Mamang Daya going to wrap around. 2 racks coming through. NGX, respawns are coming in. They could try.
Boundless out, Warriors punch in. They're trying to go onto the Mars. Enryu again, though, just not dropping as Jocam is going to go down. And now Mamang Daya, he'll be okay. In Your Dream, trying to rush onto the Mars, but he's doing no damage. He's got the Bulwark up. Arena down. He finally ends up going down, but Mizu, he got caught in the tree line with the Arena. He'll be the second to drop now as OB.Neon again, just going to go right after the primary target. In Your Dream to drop again. This time around, he got the BKB off, but what did it matter, John? It meant nothing.
Really didn't. He had no Metamorphosis to play with. His damage, you saw how long he had to dig in for Enryu. It was just way too long. That was without the Winter's Curse, without the Cold Embrace to stall out. 2 racks behind now, still no buyback in the TB. Last set of racks can be ripped to shreds by Mamang Daya. Still alive, has the MKB up, even more right click. I don't think NGX has too many options left. They could try again, though.
Onto Palos they go, but he's got the BKB and the Cold Embrace was there to save as they've already got Jocam down. Alacrity trying to get out of there, but the curse! UK is going to hold all 3 and Palos is going to set up for a great stun out, but a Snowball is going to buy a bit of time, save the team, but for how long? A big Sonic Wave, a finger out, but nobody's dying. Absolutely nobody dying here in OB.Neon. As they have got Megas, GG's called, NGX, they know they cannot come back. In fact, Naman, he does now die, but Mamang Daya denies him off. A celebratory deny. And OB.Neon, John, they play this draft to just sweet execution.
They play perfectly in OB.Neon's end. NGX, they had a really good time in lanes. They were getting really aggressive. In Your Dream had a great time laning. They had a great time under off lane as well for Mizu. And the Monkey King doing a lot of work early on, cutting creep wave, finding kills, but it felt like they missed out on one thing. Once the levels were up on UK, once he's able to get the Cold Embrace off and the Winter's Curse to break off the fights, we saw a lot of the ganking attempts from Nigma Galaxy.SEA just fall flat. Like, they couldn't pierce through the physical immunity the Cold Embrace brought. They didn't have enough magic damage outside of their Quap to kind of deal with that Cold Embrace. And even then, I think towards the later stage of the game, without the Dagon unlocked here, because he did offer Lincoln's first, there would still not be enough damage. I think in this game, NGX had to adapt a bit on itemization. They need to find a way to rip through UK save a lot faster, and that would have taken maybe at least a Veil of Discord in a support or a Dagon on a Quap, and NGX just didn't want to veer off course too hard there to counteract it. So I think Neon come out with a really solid draft. You know, Palos and the Positive and Doom was off to a slower start, but it's a Doom. You devour, you Midas, you feel good, and really UK just ruined NGX. Just the Winter Wyvern, Cold Embrace, Winter's Curse made sure that NGX just could not find a single fight to play in after the 15-minute mark.
All right, well, with that, we are going to head to a 10-minute break. And, of course, right after that break, we're going to be back with game number 2 between NGX and, of course, OB.Neon. We'll see you there.